out of our 5. And item 2 is a motion to approve approving the agenda. So is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I should probably pick up a packet.
Any changes? Or I guess I go to the public first before we.
I have a comment.
Yeah.
The minutes in 2024 on bucket 4.
Yeah, well, we'll change that. Good
Do I
call.
have the same thing you have?
You don't have one with a staple, so you do not have the minutes attached to your packet.
Yeah, I'll see if there's one. Okay, thanks.
So, is there a motion to approve? Oh, here's Cindy. We have a 4th. Yay. Yay.
I can turn around.
Not yet. So looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
I so moved.
Is there a second?
I can second it.
All in favor of approving the agenda with the clarification that the minutes are from April 8th, 2025. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Is there any public comment on the agenda? Yes.
Can you grab your mic, please? Cindy? can you grab your mic, please?
At this time, do you have comments on the agenda?
She can't see.
But I see that you are.
I was looking for the other thing.
Hi. So there are no public comments on the agenda. We will move on to item 3, public input. Public is invited to present petitions, make announcements, or provide other information to the commission that is relevant to the scope of authority of the city of Blue Lake that is not on the agenda. The commission may provide up to 15 minutes for this public input session. To ensure that each individual presentation is heard, the commission may uniformly impose time limits of 3 minutes to each individual presentation. The public will be given the opportunity to address items that are on the agenda at the time the commission takes up each specific agenda item. So at this time, Marnie would like to make some public input. We can share here if we need to. Ooh, colors.
We like to.
3 minutes second, you're talking
motion
fast.
for
Marty
the
Granger.
agenda.
I'm presenting 3
Darcy.
business
Darcy second.
opportunities today. And the first one is on the great big page, the campground. I was hoping the city could develop a campground, but since the city doesn't have any money, I guess it's up for grabs for private development. Either way, they're going to want to know that the bike park is going to be finished, so the campground would be successful. And either way, the city would make some money leasing the land. So on the campground picture, you'll see on the lower right, the area for the RVs to pull into. 35 feet and more would park there, no hookups, just parking. And then in the campsites itself, I've done quite a few revisions, but there wouldn't be that many. They would be a little bit bigger, maybe be 35 of them. And then you see in the center, there's the gathering area for the shade structures. There should be enough for everybody. There, I put 4 down.
There you go.
Oh.
Thanks.
Shade structures, picnic tables, barbecue pits, playground. So that's the campground. That's business opportunity number 1. Business opportunity 2 is the store that's at the bottom. It would be a sports store, equipment and things for skating and biking, fishing, kayaking, what have you. And also would be a supply store for the campground. That person would also need to know that the campground was going to be happening and the skate park for them to be successful. Business number 3, look at the small map, that little kind of funny map that I made of our business downtown. It's not to scale, but you get the idea. There's those are the 4 main buildings that make up our business district is Del Arte, and then the other 3 that I have outlined. So my idea is to have a theme of art, creativity, old-fashioned. And we've already got that with the Del Arte because they're already the performing arts. So the old gas station would have to be remodeled, and it would be the place where the larger artisan kinds of things would be being made, like metalworks, maybe blacksmith, glass blowing, leather, a big loom, but things that are interesting for the people, the public to watch. And then sides or the front of the building would open up at certain times so the public could watch what was going on. And there would also be 3 small apartments in there to keep a steady stream of money coming in to make the rent payment. Building number 2 is the only really viable one right now, and that would be the retail center for all these arts and crafts. And I'm talking about fine art, photography, books of poetry, all the other things that people create around here. Bird houses, quilts. So that would be, they would have to have a percentage of their sales would go towards the rent of that building. I don't see it being money making at this time. I mean, not only for the artists themselves, but most of the work would have to be volunteer at this time, for sure. And then the third building is the Emporium, and that would become an old-fashioned ice cream store and a coffee shop, and would also sell creative edibles like jam, jelly, honey, eggs, local bread, what have you. I think the people in Blue Lake, ladies or men, would love to make casseroles, or I know a woman that makes wonderful scones that people would bring down things. There would always be food there besides just coffee and tea.
Third places.
And then to wrap it all up, there would be this old fashioned theme part, a wagon like thing that would be made to look like a little train, and that would be pulled by a couple of burros. And it would start at the Grange, and it would do the Annie Mary Trail down, stop at the museum, then on down, stop at the park and the city hall, and then on down the Rancheria, and then come back on Chardon. And with all that, I think it's just enough, not so much that hordes of people are going to be coming into Blue Lake, but enough people that families on a weekend would say, hey, let's go to Blue Lake and take the kids on a ride on that little burro thing and on the wagon and get an ice cream cone or whatever. So that's, did I do it in 3 minutes?
Yes, you did.
Good ideas.
Thank you. This would add a lot of vitality to our town. If there's any people who are thinking about starting businesses or any of these businesses, the North Coast Small Business Development Center can provide assistance with business planning, financial projections, and how to get ready to find funding to start your business. So that would be a first stop for the people who are ready to do the lifting on this. And I guess and communicating with the property owners, one of which would be the city for this RV park. But that is a capital intensive project. I think it would, so it would probably take a combination of private and public funding to see how that would work.
I think there was a RV park
There has,
cited for the old wood burning site.
It was thought about, but I think this is a much better spot.
It is a good spot.
Yeah.
Is it on Pepe's land?
no, I think this is on the city
City,
parcel directly east of the bike park.
Yeah, it's all city land. It's where Danco is going on.
Oh.
And these are all
This must go
businesses, I
this
think,
way
that would be
then.
well supported by the Great Redwood Trail, which is underway. There is the annual meeting about the Great Redwood Trail Agency is having their annual Zoom, and there will be opportunities for businesses along the trail because that's going to come through Blue Lake, and that is kind of the end of the line on the
For the beginning.
or the beginning
However.
or the center of the universe, whatever. So there's opportunities there.
My family owned an RV park that was wildly successful and was a very low startup cost. And is booked all the time. Also, the one we had up in Klamath is one of our most popular, just registering it with a few sites. They're pretty booked all year long, so.
But I
any
think-
RV hookups.
I think RV parks are a perfect fit for Blue Lake. I've always thought that, but I think you'd want some hookups.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Power and water.
that could get,
Yeah.
what?
To develop that across the street, that could be for big old trailers and stuff that need hookups.
So is this not for trailers?
Yeah, it is, but I mean, we haven't got the other land across the street yet, so it wouldn't be hookups, but it would be parking.
Would you be opposed to hookups?
No, it's a possibility, it just costs a lot.
So we're kind of getting into the weeds here. Julie,
Yeah.
did you have some public comment?
Yeah, Marty. And yeah, that's a great presentation Marty had for us. So my recommendation for the commission would be to bring it back versus discussion now. Obviously it warrants some discussion. And my thoughts for community involvement and envisioning is actually really connected with what Marty's doing right now. Looking at vitality, certain things that would be constructive throughout all seasons. I'd like to see our community and especially our economic development start procuring some meetings that we can start doing envisioning plans or send out a survey. Something that we can give back to council per se, especially not just doing the housing element and we have all our zoning and our lots situated at this point. Back to where actually Great Redwood Trail, there's a meeting with Mike McGuire tonight, 6:00, FYI. We'll see if it does go through. So Marty's ideas are great. I've been really concerned with the bike park down there now. It's not really privy to economic, but it is in a way because you guys are helping develop these ideas. But as a parent, I'm really concerned about the kids ever getting in and out of their rigs on that road with their bikes. I think that's a huge hazard and that we should be using that open space for parking, overflow parking, overnight camping. I was an advocate of this since 2021 to keep that an open space. It is also a great emergency response area. And so just kind of my thoughts and feelings there, if I can have any support from the community that our kids should not be getting out on the street with their bikes to use that facility. It's not safe. And thank you all for being here. I'd love to get some stuff though that we can collaborate with our community, get thoughts and ideas and suggestions, and bring it back to our council to have a little more discussion as well. I think that'd be super fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Ken?
I went into City Hall the other day to get a business license to reopen the Emporium. And I was met with, oh, you have to talk to Gary Reese, the planner, and I don't know what the heck he has to do with it. The building inspector probably does. Anyway, I'll have a meeting with him. We're considering our options. All of what I do is what's based upon ROI, return on investment. In other words, I'm not going to put $1 million into that particular property and then find out that our city center is going to die because we're moving all of our business out to Taylor Way. It makes no sense. I can't justify that. For those like, Darcy knows when you start up a business, you've got liability insurance, product insurance, sewer, water, garbage, and a whole bunch of other things that go with the business before you even start paying the rent or get a return of any type on the thing. So this is something that's got to be explored. I strongly suggest that we're having a Pints for Nonprofits. I think it's a week from Thursday. Steve Badrone will be down there, and we're discussing the future of putting Blue Lake back in again. And this will be a major driver. We have Mike McGuire's staff assured us that Mike McGuire would be interested in being part of this. And so we have a very good chance of being the trailhead or trail end with an actual lake in Blue Lake and all the business that this goes with. So we're right on the cusp of wonderful things happening. The other thing we have is we now have a partnership after 10 years with the Rancheria. They came to our safety commission meeting. They participated in Annie and Mary Day with us. So this certain cloud that's been over Blue Lake appears to have been lifted. And these partnerships, to have your sovereign nation with you, as anybody knows, they have access to funds. They have access. We might even be able to get our fire department back together with them. We can't get volunteers for our fire department enough to fill it. Well, let's partner up with the tribe. Let's let's redo what got undone for the last years and have the partnership. This is what business is all about. So I look forward to working with everybody on these projects. I will be making a financial assessment before I invest in this. And it's basically based upon the potential, if the potential of the town being gutted out and everything moving down the tailway, no reason for me to even consider throwing my time and effort into this particular project. So look forward to working with all of you on this. Thanks for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Kent. Are there any other public commenters at this time for non-agendized items? Seeing none, we're going to move on to the minutes from April 4th, 2025. Does anyone have any comments, public comments on the minutes? Seeing none, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes from April 8th, 2025. Is there a motion?
I can make a motion to approve those minutes.
I will second it.
Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes from April 8th?
Yep.
Aye. Minutes are approved. And item 5 is the introduction of our interim city manager, Jill Duffy. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. I wanted to just have a moment to put onto the agenda just to introduce myself, get a kind of a sense of what you guys are working on, and kind of give a little bit of the bad news, which is unfortunately my time is really limited, and I know that people have read the stories and things like this, and I will tell you that I haven't had a lunch in almost 2 weeks since I've started. It's like things are happening fast and furious. So as much as I'd like to be able to spend more time here, I'm really trying to tend to the core business of the city
Mhm.
right now. So I really appreciate these are like some fun ideas, right? And so it'll be great to like start seeing the integration of your deliberations and being able to feed them to council through a formalized process so that actions can start being taken. And I think that will be really wonderful to start bringing some of these concepts forward. It's going to be a little clunky for a little while. I know no other way to put it than
Clunky.
it's just going to be a little while to kind of get that. And then of course I'm only going to be here for a short period. I'm the placeholder, so hopefully we can start developing some pathways so that when the city has their permanent city manager hired, there will be some transition process and things can start moving smoothly again. And I am looking forward to helping with that. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out, and I'll do my best to answer around that. I do want to note that I'm cleaning up the office right now and trying to get some of the files set away. And I did run into an early concept that was put forward in 2021 about the RV park over in this general area. So, I think that there's a lot of pieces that kind of exist, and it'll be good to find a way to start extrapolating it so that you can start updating and having conversations around it.
Um, Linda, you're new to the
Mhm.
commission. Do you want to introduce yourself? Or?
Yeah, my name is Linda Cooley. I run Mount Brewery right across the way. I love Blue Lake. I'm super excited. I'm really involved in a lot of business aspects for our distribution side. So I'm really excited to bring help to the table and also listen to the community. I think it's really amazing that we have people like Kent and Marty to come up and bring ideas and thoughts, and I'm excited to listen to everyone.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you. It'll be nice to have a link there to the text. And
Thanks.
going on.
Yeah.
so, are there any questions, I guess, for Jill?
Thanks for stepping in, Jill.
You're welcome. I'll do my best. I will do my best.
And that is all anyone can do. Okay, moving on to item 6. This is City of Blue Lake project updates discussion. This was usually where we got a rundown from city staff about what was going on and with various and sundry details. And I don't know where things stand or how up to speed you or anyone is or what the stop or go is. We could take public input. We could kick this
So-
around. We could punt.
Yeah, I think it might be better to kind of punt for the very simple reason of I want to be really mindful. There's a number of projects that I'm aware of, but I'm still trying to develop some of the more specifics around the steps and the timelines and things like this. So I want to make sure that I'm not accidentally misrepresenting anything. I think big picture right now, you probably are all aware that the city council did approve the housing element, which means now that the planning commission is going to have to go through the rezoning process.
Oh,
Um,
George. Okay.
so that will be coming forward. There's a question right now whether or not there's going to be a quorum available for that Tuesday, excuse me, for the August meeting. So that being said, it may be closer to September, but that one is going to be moving forward. I'll be meeting with some staff tomorrow about that. So there's a whole host of other projects. There is also going to be some repairs being made to the pedestrian bridge that's over there on Second Street. So you're going to start seeing some activity there. There's some public safety concerns there. So there will be a bridge repair. And then there's a whole host of other projects that, give me a month or so and I'll be able to give you some updates.
Thank you. Is there any public comment for item 5? Kent?
Wait, I'm very pleased to have you here today.
Yeah.
And Jill also, just yes, as far as an update, and there's some time, and I've purposely not contacted you or take any of your time because you have to get your feet on the ground. We had a whole bunch of what I refer to as pipe dream projects. It was alleged that we had people interested in the RV park and the whole project that didn't pan out. We were also supposed to have some kind of indoor facility where B&B is. We were also supposed to have a conversion of our courtyard. My understanding that timeline for those people has passed, and there are all kinds of other projects that just really weren't viable or feasible. And a lot of the feasibility studies were done by the Rancheria to see whether they felt an RV park in itself, and they would have developed it, I believe, if they had. So you're gonna find that there's a lot of projects out there that are going to be kind of left hanging because they really weren't dealt with in reality. When it came time for an RV park, one of the people who actually builds this had the realtor talk to me and say, "Here, you want an RV park?" But that person was excluded because of personal issues with the prior city manager and wasn't even communicated with. The doers frequently weren't brought involved in this kind of thing. So we look forward to working with you, Jill. There's all kinds of other things that that are important to the community. When you do come up to speed, I'm available anytime for anything that I could help with. There's such things as negotiation on a water tank and a few other things that you're going to have on your plate rather rapidly. They're all important to the city and our economics here. And a lot of us are willing to to take some time to fill you in on the a little bit of institutional knowledge I can retain over these last few years. So I think good things can happen to Blue Lake as far as all this stuff goes, and really look forward to working with the new staff we have here to work with in the city hall and our new members here. So thanks for the opportunity.
Any other public comment? Item 5? Julie?
Yeah, Julie Christie, I'll jump back in. Linda, Jill, thank you so much. Yeah, I think you guys are great assets. And Jill, we may not have you for long, but I appreciate that you are just going to try and get some foundation to pass along. That's really needed. And for our projects that we've got going on in town, I think anytime that we can focus on the ones that are going to be successful to regenerate revenue for the city, as in the city is making revenue off those projects, or somebody local that's supporting a family, that they're given those opportunities to support their businesses, and we have local residents and prioritize that, because sustainability is going to get tougher and tougher. The county is in over $17 million worth of debt. Grants are going to stop coming in. So as much as we need economic, we also need infrastructure and public safety. So to keep those in mind as well with projects. Thank you.
Thank you. And, okay, any more public comment? At this time, we'll move on to item 7, which was a retail cannabis ordinance.
And can I actually add one more thing? And I'm really
Sure.
sorry because I'm looking at this and realizing that there was something that was missing. So
Will this be a future agenda item?
it would fall under my agenda item, and well, I'll bring it up under my agenda item. So first and foremost, I'm trying to kind of understand some of the roles that the city manager has had with each of the different commissions. So that's one piece. And so I'm disclosing that the time is limited. The other is I understand that the city manager was collecting the minutes and then preparing those minutes for submission. Is that correct, or has it been
No.
somebody else? Who's been doing? You're doing it.
Mhm.
And I'm giving it up. I just want you to all know after how many years?
Yes.
I think it's time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was unaware of that, so I wanted to make sure that, so, on the next agenda, that needs to be a topic for who would then be, collecting the action minutes. Thank you for that. Then
Thank you for your service.
I have to take my leave, and I really apologize, but, yeah, this is where,
Right, you're committed, time constraints. kick
yeah,
in.
I also want to keep my marriage. I mean, seriously, after the fair, which was supposed to be a 3-month gig, and it turned into over a year. I've got kind of a lean room to
Yeah,
operate with
dinner
my
time
other
is, yep.
half.
Well,
All right, thank you
you
all.
for your time.
All right.
If should we maybe perhaps discuss an earlier meeting time, if that would be,
Potentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys are working.
no,
and
we
we'll
can kick
go
this
from there.
around.
All right, thank you.
Bye,
I-
Jill.
Do a microphone this time?
So moving on to item 7, the retail cannabis ordinance. There's some information that was prepared by the EDC attached to the meeting packet. I believe it's making it in here. I don't see it in mine. So maybe, oh, there it is at the end of the packet after the minutes.
Okay.
So this was just, this is a discussion item where, to see if there's support for the city council considering a retail cannabis ordinance, whether that's something that is something they want to do to support some local Humboldt County cannabis businesses, or if it's not something that the council would deem suitable. But it could be an opportunity to generate revenues. It could be compatible with the recreation and the distillery and brewery businesses that we already have in town. It could be something to recapture revenue that is perhaps going elsewhere in the community to other places that do have these businesses. And it may be something that, there's enough opposition to that it's something to consider at a later time or not time, never. So I just thought it would be
Yeah.
something to discuss. I know there may be strong and middling opinions, so if the public or the council wants to kick it around, have at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there any public comment on the the idea of a retail cannabis ordinance?
I would definitely not be in favor of that. I prefer the more wholesome things that we could be doing.
So can you just clarify your what your objections are so that
I
it's
just don't think it's a wholesome activity. I just wouldn't want it here. There's plenty of other places overflowing with these centers.
well,
So
they're not.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Are there any other public comments, Kent?
My question, if there's a need and desire for this from business people to bring it. So how many people have reached out to you and come and sat down and did a presentation? We would like you to pass an ordinance so that we can come do business here. If you're not getting people interested in it, we're probably wasting our time. Part of it is because Blue Lake has such a less than 1,200 people actually live here. They have full access to this 24/7, 365 at some of these facilities. Most people do go to town, Eureka Arcade, on just about a daily basis. And from what I've seen is in businesses here, unless it's totally paired up with some other business that's going to be open all the time as a small ancillary part of an existing business, you really can't afford to have some a bud tender and the owner sitting there all day long twiddling their thumbs. That's why the Emporium closed down, and it's just not a viable financial thing. The rest of it, aside, other people have varying opinions regarding the particular substance. I don't get involved in that discussion. I'm just strictly looking at it from an economic business thing. So I really wouldn't suggest that you move forward until you have some people coming to town and actually saying, "Hey, we'd like to partner up with you." It can be moved through rather rapidly if you need to. If you have interest, it's something that can happen quite quickly. And until that part of the puzzle is in place, I think it's better to spend your time on other topics. Thank you.
Any other public comments, Lori?
I
Hi, thank you. So I sort of have been here from the time that this topic came up, quite a while ago, a half a year ago or so. And even now, as in then, I didn't feel like it was. I guess wholesome is a great word, but also appropriate. We have a school, and we're trying to keep kids here. We have a doghouse, where families come and kids come, and we have the ice or the coffee shop, and I think the town square having little kids wanting to play in the splash pad and big kids wanting to play in the splash pad. I just don't see how it fits very well. I did previously say that if it happened out where we were looking at um, the a campground or somewhere that's more adult oriented out near the brewery or someplace that isn't so close to where we have kids living and playing. That's kind of my thought on it. Plus, I think that if we're going to seriously take a look at it, and we seriously have somebody who is coming to the city offering to start that business, we need to ask the community how they feel about it, because it's a radical thing. I mean, there's a reason why we have our ordinances the way we do now, and to change something like that, I think it would be important to get community input on that. Thank
I
you.
mean, it probably wouldn't make much difference if it was out that way because there's the bike park and that's going to be full of kids.
Yeah.
So
And
either
so I mean
way,
that, yeah,
yeah.
I agree. I don't think it's appropriate. I think we're too small. I think Arcata's close. Trinidad's not doing it. Fortuna hasn't done it yet.
Fortuna's
according-
talking about it. I
They're
have
talking
heard.
about, but they haven't
But
done
they
it
Willow
have
yet.
Creek has one.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, yes, they do.
but Ferndale doesn't. Trinidad.
Mhm.
So
It's
you know,
really even, yeah, it's about evenly.
and it's all
yeah.
over Arcata, a bunch of McKinleyville, Eureka, and a lot of them. I don't know. When I drive by, I never see anybody really going out there, and so I mean, I don't know. Do we really need it, and would it really bring in that much money? I don't. I kind of doubt it. But I think community input on something on this topic is important, and
Yeah.
talking to the principal of the school
Mhm.
and the parents, the school board, see how they feel about it. So thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Jean?
Hi, I'm Jean. Welcome, Linda. Good to see you. I was trying to wrap my brain around the Great Redwood Trail and bringing a dispensary in or a medical facility for marijuana in town. And my brain goes to, looking at in the big picture. I would hate to think that the destination of the Redwood Trail would end up here and have uh, um, marijuana as the destination. Uh, my mind kind of goes that way. And so medical marijuana is helpful. Recreational marijuana, I would hope, would not be aimed at the younger people that are trying to be at the bike park or over here playing baseball. Um, I just think that it's not appropriate right now. Maybe the medical marijuana, I could see that, a dispensary for that. But not recreational marijuana where you come in and you have candies and go sit by the riverside and smoke a joint or something. I'm just not seeing that. But when I was on the council and we were discussing marijuana, I remember that there's a 600-foot
Space between
space
where you can
between where
have
you can
something
have
and a
the marijuana and any churches, schools. So that's pretty limiting. We have the school here. We have multiple churches. We have Del Arte is actually a school. So we're pretty limited. And then if we open up the park and we have low income housing and we have maybe a possible treatment center in town. It gets pretty complicated. So anyway, and thanks everybody for bringing up the thought and for being here. Thank you.
I would like to add that the California Tourism Board has released regional tourism plans that you can view on the Visit California website. And the tourism plan for the North Coast, love it or leave it, does include a cannabis tourism marketing thing. And they're also promoting wineries, but not breweries and distilleries, which we have in abundance, perhaps greater abundance than wineries.
Why would they not?
These things come together in haphazard ways with different focus groups, and they try to take an inventory of the tourist assets. And I was kind of felt Blue Lake got snubbed because we weren't mentioned in there. And okay, we're not. Maybe next time they'll update it at some point.
The county attempted to permit these facilities and the tourism things. I don't know if any of them exist, but they only had 2 or 3 applications from the whole county. Some of us referred to it to say the bed and breakfast Stoneheads and bed. But the tourism thing did not seem to really develop. And so maybe they're pushing it from the state viewpoint.
It's just
but the success actually in the people being able to make it viable. I've heard, I keep in touch with all those people with the county, has been very limited, if not non-existent. So it's interesting. Sometimes the state tries to shove things down our throat that we don't necessarily.
And to get into Visit
Yeah.
California, we have to submit at least 10 times before we have anything back. So we have a partnership with Visit California for the brewery, and we have one for the tribe, and it's really difficult, and it's just constantly submitting and submitting and submitting. But it is a big part of tourism, and it is a big part of the plan, especially in the next coming years. I'm not necessarily for or against it. My concern is the viability, because when we talk about new businesses in the summer, it's happy and wonderful, but then when winter comes, it's dead.
Seasonality is much
And
harder.
I worry about the businesses we have here and getting data and what we can do to uplift our economy in the winter to even get anyone to want to be here. I don't even know if one would want to come here right now with the amount of business we have in the winter. It's scary dead. And I'm sure, Darcy, it's significantly different. It's night and day. I don't even know what the hours would look like for them in the winter. Nobody wants to come here when it's raining. Nobody wants to come here when it's dark. My concerns for that is more economic.
No, I see a lot of hospitality businesses struggle in the wintertime.
I'd like to see what the tribe's input would be. I'd like to see everything we do economically run it by the tribe. Maybe we can get a liaison from the economic department to work with the tribal economic development department. And I think everything we should be doing should be simpatico, but that's my thought on it. So
Are they affiliated with the Chamber of Commerce?
No.
Oh, they should be.
They should at least get a membership. Perhaps. I mean, it's a lot of business. It could help. I don't know.
things are changing rapidly. So
Get 2 more.
Okay.
Will be good. I appreciate the dialogue. Because this has been an ongoing topic. Like, Lori said, we've been discussing this for a while. And I kind of was under the impression when it was brought forward, it was kind of more like Elizabeth and Mandy kind of brought this in, and then you guys had your little ad hoc for it. And so I'll kind of go back to some comments that I had left in the past, and looking at it as an economic review, especially listening to City of Eureka's meetings and stuff. Like I mentioned, if we ever did move forward with it, I would definitely advise a cap. I know it's very controversial, open market, free market, but that's actually what was very a deficit to Eureka in hindsight, was actually
They're
that they
struggling.
didn't do that.
Yet
And
they're still opening
Jean
them
was
every day.
saying with 600 feet, that's 300 yards. We are pretty much 300 yards from the school right here. And then another 300 yards would be like the corner store, to put that in perspective with that.
So is there even a
And
spot?
so my other thoughts that were very similar to Lori was location. In my opinion, I do think down by the distillery and Paradise K and stuff is kind of a little bit more ideal, a little bit more in the district down there. But I also very much agree with Kent that there's really no purpose of getting this ordinance unless somebody actually is here wanting to apply for the permits to have a business like that here. I felt like maybe there was somebody prior and we just weren't privy to it because that's why it was brought forward in the first place. So maybe we could do a little internal and ask, was there somebody originally that was interested or was it just an idea?
I think it was just an
Yeah, because
idea.
if it is just an idea, I suggest that we just wait and then, always be open to the possibility. But then once we do start entertaining it, have a little bit of contingencies with it that would protect our public safety and just atmosphere. So if we do a survey for economic growth, perhaps shove in having a cannabis, in that survey. So, and we could ask about, winter development projects and stuff like that for economic.
I have a
So-
question. I wonder if anybody knows. Thank you, Julie. Does the casino gas station or does the casino sell marijuana?
No, they are federally ran.
No, yeah.
No.
If the
Cannabis
federal
is not a
prohibition were to
federal.
change.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't see that
They're a
changing,
sovereign nation, they can do
especially.
whatever they want.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It's like Mexico.
No, if they want to continue with federal funding and things like that with, their tribal members and things, they have
Okay.
to follow the laws. and-
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
We're getting into the weeds again.
We are.
Okay.
Ha, no pun.
Thank you.
John, did you want to?
I'm just asking a question as the liaison, temporary liaison.
Yeah.
Were you guys just going to be providing the document you have there, or were you going to be fleshing it out a little more before it came before
I was
council?
just, this was put together just to have a little information. There's like slightly less than half the cities and counties in California have some sort of retail cannabis ordinance, and there's plenty that don't, and it's a majority. It kind of creeps around. It is an industry that is. I mean, there's plenty of Humboldt County grown cannabis,
Mhm.
and it is not something that is available for retail in Blue Lake. And so there are businesses in the county that are struggling because there's, as Julie mentioned in Eureka, there's excess competition. And just by removing the prohibition, could the city capture a little bit more revenue? I mean, it's a chicken and an egg thing. If nobody's asking to open one, then why do we need to remove the ordinance? And well, if and Kent's point about the viability of these businesses is well taken. They're not exactly beating a path to our door to say they could open one. If there's even a viable location with what we've got going on here and what we wanted to develop down on Taylor
The
Way.
main elephant in the room is.
Hang on. You're not.
Market is.
Sorry about that. So what I'm going to just get to you. I wanted to say, if you guys do recommend bring it before council, it'll probably come back to you guys for further revisions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just wanted to put that out there. Thanks.
So, but it sounds like the public comment on this is overwhelmingly, we need more public comment before we consider something like this. And I don't see a lot of overwhelming support for it at this time.
And we don't really have an idea of where it would go because it's going to be close to wherever it is. It's going to be a little too close to the bike park, a little too close to the school. It seems like if someone wouldn't come from Arcata to come to a pot store here when they've got their pick of some nice ones. So people along the trail, if this is the end, they're going to have an opportunity to pick up whatever
Yeah.
stuff they want before they
I
get here.
als-
If we could just enhance what we've got
Yeah.
so they can bring it with them or whatever. And,
I also would like to ask the Rancheria if they have plans to do that because tribes are growing it and selling it and it's coming. So if that's something in their plans too,
right.
that's kind of a no competitive situation we have there.
And it would really, the individual who thought that they could make a go of renting a building and selling, maybe if it's just medical stuff, it would have to be someone with some big pockets to begin
Mhm.
with because they're going to have to rent probably a brand new building because the town is not going to be able to offer an opportunity. It's too close to schools. So if it went on Taylor Way, it'd probably be a brand new office building, which would be a little pricey. And I mean, it'd be on the seller to make it go.
There's a lot of due diligence in getting a dispensary permitted and open, and you have there's different layers of government permitting involved with it that are
I
quite
haven't heard
onerous.
that Glass House is interested in coming to Blue Lake. Let's just put that out there.
So.
Jean, did you have another?
Sort of feel like this is the elephant in the room kind of thing. Have anybody been listening to what Trump is saying about revisiting the marijuana legalization? It's been.
I think it could happen, but I don't know.
Well, is that the whole process might come under stronger federal guidelines, and maybe even the tribes. I didn't realize that they were growing and selling marijuana. Yeah, that's different because I thought it was against the federal regulations.
They can do it under their economic corporations.
Oh, I see. Okay. So anyway, so that's coming up. Maybe just sit back and wait and see what develops might be a good idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Jean. That is some interesting speculation. Are there any more public comments at this time? I think we have beaten the topic to death and can move on unless. Okay, so moving on to item 8, business outreach discussion. Does anybody remember where this project was?
Can I just ask a real quick question before you go on?
Sure.
So are you guys not moving it forward, or are you
I
guys
I
moving
don't
it
think
forward?
there's any reason to push it forward at this time based on the discussion. I mean, unless
Unless the
council,
council
unless there's
brings-
a
yeah.
viable site for one that somebody can readily identify, it would have to be like,
Yeah, I think it'd be really, really
it
challenging
would
for
probably be a
someone.
new structure, and to do that would maybe restrict future recreational uses that might, I mean, the impacts. If somebody gets a vested permitted right to have a cannabis dispensary, that does affect other property owners.
Yes. Yeah.
So status quo.
Mhm.
But thank you for a really thoughtful and interesting discussion. I think that was a good job, everyone. So item 8, business outreach is, do we have a committee for this?
Was that when we were going to be working with the chamber on the business outreach?
I believe
And then
so.
the other thing, we were at one point thinking about going out and visiting with the businesses, but also working with vacant building owners to see if there were some potential businesses we could help go that way. I think that was part of it. Was that it?
I think it was the very beginning of the discussion.
Yeah.
It was just something, how do we get more businesses to entertain coming to Blue Lake?
Well, in the meantime, we did get a new business. We got the Maker Space.
One left for them to come there.
What's that?
One left
One
for
in,
them
one
to
out.
come there. Blue Heron had to
That's
left.
true.
Yep. But yeah, no, the Makerspace is great.
Right. And it's a more appropriate business for the site, I think. I don't know.
No, they were sure a good addition. I mean, there's so much good energy.
Yep.
It's
No, it's beautiful. Yeah.
we want to keep them.
They've done a really great job. Then service their business because they're feeling a downturn of the first rush of everybody's excited to be there. So participate in their stuff is what they're hoping to see.
I wish I was artistic.
You don't
That's
have to
my
be.
issue.
You definitely don't have to be to do it. It's
I
very
can't
fun.
even grow up. I mean, being a duck or anything.
It's an
yeah,
easy
I'm not-
activity to do and it's fun.
Does
Yeah.
the public have any input on maybe business outreach? I mean, Marnie, you had presented some ideas for businesses that you thought would work in Blue Lake. Is there any public input on this?
I was going to suggest it for a future agenda item, but it might fall under here. I would volunteer to put a questionnaire together to go out to all the businesses in Leo to see like where they're at, what they're struggling with. I think we need a heartbeat on the businesses we have before we even talk about getting others, so we can
Right.
provide feedback and find the right fit so they come to stay and not just leave. Because I think the more businesses we have close and leave, the worse it looks, and people are even more afraid to come here. So I think doing a survey with businesses and seeing where they're at and what they need and what they think this next year looks like for them would be really helpful for everything. And I would completely volunteer to help with that.
Okay, and you could have an ad hoc committee of.
I'd help you with that
Yeah.
questionnaire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would actually be great since
Yeah.
And that would, so let's look for that at on our next agenda. We'll revisit this in September.
Did we have a questionnaire at one point in life?
I I think there has been a questionnaire. That could be updated maybe, and I can make a note to see if I can dig it up.
I just remember something, and then we would go visit with businesses when we first started,
Well,
and
there
we had a
was
questionnaire.
I think there was a grant that was available that some of the businesses
During
could
the
apply for. I think
during the
I
pandemic, there
I
was
think I
something.
got an awning, and then there was maybe some
Oh.
help at the thrift store that they got, and some things were going around.
I
That
think
might have
that
been
was,
what you're thinking
A
about.
coffee
Yeah.
shop, I think. Yeah,
but I
different
think
things.
that was,
I
you're
think that
right, the
was.
pandemic
I would
impact.
ask if they're for profit or non for profit, and if they are if they are now or have ever been a client of the North Coast SBDC, because that is a great resource
Oh,
for
and
local
it's
businesses,
free.
and it's free. And
Yeah.
so if they don't know about it, it's an opportunity to plug that. You might even be able to reach out to the SBDC, see if they can have some
Oh,
information about Blue Lake,
yeah.
and get a list from the city about business licenses that are active.
Well,
Maybe if we work on a questionnaire, then maybe we'd bring it to you because
We'll
you've
just
got
bring it
all the
back to
good
the
ideas.
to the commission, and
your-
we'll all
okay.
kick it around some
Yeah,
more.
Okay.
I have an outline already. Yeah.
Oh, good.
And are they, you know,
Kent, I
part of the
think you have
chamber
some
too,
input on this
probably?
because
Yeah.
you
Because
were
there's a
looking for
lot
some
of
data too.
resources that businesses don't realize through chambers. There's a lot of resources.
Chamber membership, maybe
Mhm.
too.
I think you're doing redundancy of what the chamber is doing. So I strongly recommend you
Oh.
partner up with the chamber.
Mhm.
And I think
Oh.
they're in that process and get it done once to everybody's benefit. I think that
Oh,
might be a
that's the way
good
things work in the
partnership.
county. We have different silos, and we don't share our data because
Yeah,
we
right.
use our
So,
data.
so let, you know,
Okay,
it'd be nice to just do it once and do it right and to get everybody involved. In that.
collaboration. If that would,
They're up to what? You're up to 7 members now. It used to only be 3, so now they got lots of time on their hands to do things like that.
thank you, Kent. Is there any other public comment on the business outreach, which we will discuss again next time? Okay, we have item 9, the staff report for Parks and Recreation event schedule update. Emily,
Should I come to the podium?
if you like. If not, you can find a microphone.
Oh, I'll come up here. Hi, everyone. I'm Emily with Parks and Recreation, and we have some exciting updates. Our party room at Prash Hall is getting some upgrades. We've added some additional seating that was free, repurposed off of Facebook Marketplace from other businesses. And we've added a soda bar counter there for additional seating and a corner booth. We're expanding this because we got approved again to do our sodas and minimal prep concessions. So we're trying to strategize how to make that look more like a soda fountain and have that retro energy in the party room. We plan on expanding this and having our soft opening by the end of August, first week of September. Right now, we're in staff training to make sure staff knows how to prepare everything correctly and keep it sanitary. Our novelty store, which is also in the party room, we're looking at refining a bit and expanding that to be more of a pro shop for skaters to customize their skates. And there's a few businesses like Moon Cycles and Still in Eureka that have a large abundance of skate stuff and have expressed interest in moving some of that inventory into the roller rink. So trying to partner and really strengthen our pro shop there.
Ooh, sales tax revenue.
Yes.
I like that.
One of the items that I would like to bring to the commission that may fall here as well is looking at our facility fee schedule and perhaps updating that to be competitive with the cities around us. I know in 2023 we had revisited that and made some changes, but we still are far behind from who I've had some
Right, and
experience talking to.
do I understand it that the people who bring their own skates get to ride for free?
No,
No, they have to pay. Okay,
yeah, they have to pay.
okay.
But we've had people find loopholes in some park rentals and picnic table rentals and things like that that we'd like to make sure all of our packages are clearly explained. Look at some wedding and family reunion and other school events, corporate events. So we have people from the community like Kent helping me do some legwork and work with event planners to see what are people looking for. And bringing that revised fee schedule back when
park rental packages to first the Parks Commission, and I believe then it goes to council for consideration for adoption. The Parks and Rec Master Plan, we're looking at continuing to build that. And through Parks and Rec, I saw the suggestion to host a community visioning session of what activities, what things we'd like to see, perhaps at the Grange, but give the public a chance to share their inspiration like Marty has, and delve a little deeper into where we're interested in expanding. And on the bike park, the Land Water Conservation Fund grant has been submitted. So that is about a 6-month wait till we hear back whether our grant was funded or not.
Who is the funder?
Land Water Conservation Fund.
That's a state agency?
I believe so.
I think so.
For California.
Yeah.
We've been hosting some Pints for Nonprofits with the brewery. They've been super generous in working with us. And our next one is September 6th with RCMBA helping us co-host these. And we've had some legwork in the community with networking to see if there's a possibility for larger brand sponsorships, whether that's through professional athletes or corporate sponsors. So we've had different people in talks, seeing if there's any interest in investing in Blue Lakes Bike Park and getting it finished.
I think the Tony Hawk Foundation does some funding too. I don't know what the criteria might be.
There's been a lot of little bells ringing once we've put it out there. If
That's
you know
good.
someone you think that could be interested, please talk with them. Some special events we have going on. October 30th, we've confirmed an adult skate with DJ Goldilocks. This will be our first adult skate in about 6 months, so we look for that to be pretty popular. And that's going to be from 7 to 10. We will have a Halloween trick-or-treat walk that will coincide with the school's carnival. We're still waiting for that finalized date. And we're going to be attending, or I will, a Safe Trek workshop if anyone's interested at the Blue Lake Rancheria this coming Tuesday, August 19th. I think it's for community access ways and stuff, but I saw an invite, so I plan to be there. It's through Safe Trek.
Safe what?
Safe Trek sponsored, and it's at the Rancheria.
There's a couple
next
things coming up
Tuesday.
out there. What that one is like a healthcare forum. I don't have the dates, and the other there's also a disaster response forum, and probably a couple other things. This is a
This one's through, I believe, transportation.
okay.
Talking about community pathways and stuff like that. That's what I have so far.
Thank you.
Not
Thank
much,
you.
is there? No.
And Annie and Mary Day, we finished that up, so that's good.
We
Thank
survived.
goodness.
Yeah. Anything?
Thank you. Does the
Excellent.
public have any comments or questions for Emily? Ken?
Change.
Change here. I kept it warm for you. We're so lucky to have Emily. She's doing a fantastic job. We need to keep her somehow. I don't know, stick her kept. But anyway, the person I've been trying to get out here and haven't been successful yet is Carol Crosley, I believe her name. And if you Google wedding planners or anything, I think it's Celebration Boulevard. And she is the one. And one of her first questions was me, if I have parking out here for 600 people, where can we park them? And so, looking at areas like down by the bike park or over in their other areas, we need to be ready to go and answer her questions. Hopefully she'll come out. And I don't know if Emily's had any luck getting a hold of her, but she had some family issues for a while. So we're looking forward to using the,
Yeah.
if you check it out. I said, well, there's a wedding planner in Blue Lake, and then I Googled it, and they are no longer in business. So she is the number one person, and everybody I vetted her with, people at the Annie and Mary Day who had booths there, 4 or 5 people there. Everybody speaks very highly of her. She's been doing it a long time, and a great business person. Hopefully, we can partner up with. She currently does quite a few things, I guess, with the Rancheria and out the camp out there in Corbell. So she's
Camp
familiar
Bauer.
with the area, and I think she'd be a perfect fit for us.
Oh, thank you. Are there any more questions or comments for the staff report on Parks and Rec? Anybody else? Okay, moving on. Item 10, the Chamber of Commerce report. Justin. That was last night, I believe.
Yeah, yes, it was
Was it last night? It was last night. Sorry, so many meetings over the past little bit. It feels like one giant meeting. So yeah, we met last night. Obviously we ended Annie Mary Day. That was a bit of chaos. We learned a lot of lessons.
Oh,
Um, to be fair for the chamber, we were 3 members for the majority of the year, and we got our other 4 within the last 2 months before Annie Mary Day. So it's a little bit of a rough shock for some of the new members, but I think for as rough as it was, I think it went off pretty well.
Looked like it went pretty smooth.
The date change certainly helped. Um,
how was attendance?
Attendance was a little less than last year. It's kind of hard to put a number on it,
Yeah.
but it certainly didn't feel as crazy it was last year. But
I
we were
didn't have
also,
that feeling. I thought it was crazy.
I'm
mean,
sure
there were
from your
tons of
point of view,
people.
you were
Tons of people.
busy. But judging from my point of view over in the park where they were listening to music, it wasn't as much.
Hmm.
Something we can fix. Maybe we were against Wildwood Days.
Yeah, I think that was probably
Apparently they changed their
competition.
date and to coincide with ours. So we are discussing possibly changing it to the second week instead of the first week of August.
But maybe they'll change it again.
They might, but the benefit of that is one of the comments was that some of the vendors that came would have liked to have had breakfast. And
Oh,
if
the
we were
Grange
if we were to
breakfast.
do it on the second week, it would align with the Grange.
It's a lot of volunteer time.
It is. That's something that we identified is we need to do a little more outreach and get a little more public assistance. I know Emily and I were putting out tables and chairs using my truck and then having to get my truck from doing work to getting put in the car show and then get back over to get people put in or vendors in. It was a lot of work, a lot of chaos, and to have more assistance would be helpful. As far as financially, we didn't do our what's the raffle? We didn't do a raffle this year. It's just too many things to do, not enough people. But even without the raffle, and even with only passing the little violin case around once, we still are a net positive of over $500 on the event.
Nice.
So I think if we can get our ducks in a row with some of the raffle and a little bit better planning, I think we could increase our income quite a bit. Again, we're also working on the outreach for businesses. We obviously trying to get through Annie Mary Day was our big lift. That's our biggest thing of the year. Once we're through that, now that we're through that, I think we can start leaning towards some of that stuff. We got the outreach for the vendors that we had here. We have a questionnaire going out for them to see how it went for them, where we can improve. One of the pushbacks was so this year we enforced the business license for the city. Basically, you didn't get your space until we confirmed that you had paid your business license for the city. There was some strong feelings against that.
There were plenty of vendors.
We had plenty of vendors. We had, I believe, last count was somewhere near 60.
Oh, wow. That is.
Um,
And
and
the
the light,
business license isn't that much.
A daily
it was
license is
$10.
$10?
10. Okay.
But some people up into the day in which we held the event, I believe there was somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 people who hadn't paid their business license. And you got people that just want to check in and get their space that have already paid for it. They're dealing with it. And then you have that one person in the line that hasn't paid for it. And now they're figuring out how to pay for it and arguing about, yes, I paid for it. No, I haven't paid for it. It created a little bit of chaos in otherwise chaotic day. But um, overall, I think the event went rather well. I know the car show did pretty good. They, according to Saturday, they had either 28 or 38 vehicles registered, and we between Saturday night and Sunday morning, they went from 28 or 38 to a little over 80.
Wow.
We almost caught up with last year, which I think was 97 vehicles. So we had a pretty good turnout. Um, Looking forward to next year. Lots of lessons learned. Um, and we have plans for making it better next year. So I hope we're as successful, if not more successful, next year.
Is the profits from the car show included in your 500?
No, the profits for the car show is separate. The car
Where does
show
that go?
that goes towards the Parks and Recreation.
Okay.
So the proceeds from car show are completely separate from Annie Mary Day, from Chamber of Commerce income.
Did Wildwood Days have a car show too?
They did.
Yeah.
So from reports that I heard, was anywhere between 20 and 40 cars. There was at least one car that was trailered to Rio Dell and got there, decided they didn't like the layout and came up here, and were a part of our car show.
Ooh, I imagine
Um,
that group has a lot of communication and talks well about Blue Lake.
and
Then
apparently there was when he decided to change his location, he informed his friends, and more of them brought their vehicles up here. So we went from either 28 or 38 to 85 because of word of mouth. So
I think the big draw is at the museum, we have donuts. And we do coffee early, like 8 o'clock, and then we have donuts and
You get a lot of police officers or something, what do you say?
no, but really, I think there's a feeling that we all kind of work together to make it really comfortable and welcoming.
They were really missing the breakfast.
yes,
The car
the
people.
breakfast was
We
a
sold all of
big
our
thing.
donuts this year, which is not normal because there was no breakfast. So,
Yes.
but did you have more
fundraising
volunteers that
opportunity.
would
I know.
normally have been at the Grange doing
The
breakfast?
grain.
That helped out more, or were able to have a table as a vendor or anything? Did you see that balance?
No, we definitely need more assistance from the public. Again, it was basically it was Emily and I, and Austin did some, but it was it was pretty much Emily and I doing. Leilani helped with the sign. There was a couple of others, but it was the majority of the lifting was Emily and I doing a good portion of the work. And so we definitely need a little more public assistance. In that seems to be a general thing that happens with any event. Is everyone loves an event, but when it's time to do something,
They're
like
not
manual
there.
labor,
Mm.
they disappear. And
Welcome to a nonprofit world.
Yeah.
yes, very much so.
Yeah. But no, I would hope that maybe the Grange members would be more community service if they're not going to be working the breakfast, having that ability to step in and help in the capacity of something or that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes,
To do that, that would be great.
I think if we can incorporate the breakfast though
Yeah.
with our event,
Hmm.
that way they're already going to be there anyway, and then you have all those car show people that are looking for breakfast
Hmm.
now suddenly have the ability for breakfast. And if we
Well, that's
include
going
in
to
our
help the museum.
advertisement of
No,
our
no.
event
There's always
that
demand for donuts.
will now coincide with the breakfast at the
Hmm.
Grange,
Yeah.
and we include that, I think it could benefit both the Grange and the attendees.
Yeah.
So that's in consideration right now.
And that's maybe something that comes up for a lot of events that we would have in Blue Lake is like a need for a breakfast for like the people that are putting it on or vendors and
Volunteers.
volunteers.
I mean, when we have the plant sale, we try to have it or we have in the past had it the same day as the Grange breakfast because people come into town
Sure.
and then
Mhm.
you hit them up for
Mhm.
plans. Yeah.
Don't go home empty-handed.
Yep.
Is there another quarterly mixer plan? Are you still doing, is it too soon to ask about that?
There is a mixer planned.
September
September.
18th, it's a Thursday at Camp Ballard, 5 to 7 p.m. And I'll say it again, September 18th. It's a Thursday from 5 to 7 at Camp Ballard.
So yes, there is one planned.
Thank you.
Anything else?
I don't have
Who's-
anything else. Does the public?
Who's sponsoring it?
Green Diamond.
The mixer?
Yeah,
Is
Green
it
Diamond.
for chamber members?
Yes.
Are you guys inviting other chambers?
Other chambers, the Rancheria, please feel free to extend the invite. if you feel
Send me a
so
flyer. We'll pass
inclined.
it around.
Yeah, and we can do some donations. I won't be in town, but I'll make sure you guys get some donations for beverage.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are there any public comments on the chamber report? Ken?
I really want to do the shout out to Emily and Justin. They pretty well pulled the whole thing, did it.
They did.
I mean, there's, so, in the future, I really like to see the younger people get involved. And maybe we can get a junior chamber members and then they can do the setting up of these things. That's what we're lacking so much in our society. We're not bringing the young people up with us as older people retire. So I think that would be well worth doing. The raffle. I mean, it was fantastic. I remember one time I bought a whole bunch of tickets because Cash had like $1,200 worth of architectural stuff, and I got that. And he didn't get paid for the work that was done on my building, so he's providing me all the work that was doing towards the renovation that is happening. That Cash is a wonderful person.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, personally, I've got places down in Mexico. If people want to fly down there, I'm going to donate two-day stays in a bunch of places, depending on the schedule. They'd have to book in advance. But there's a lot of us who are willing to do a raffle, and a nice raffle and things. Well, you start now. So you start now, you talk to people, and if we can get the forums set up for donations sooner rather than later, just being out and about, and start asking for it. I think we'll do really well on the raffle with some top quality things in there. People spend a little bit more when there's something that they just want to have.
Thank you, Kent. Anyone else? Yeah, thank you, Justin and Emily. That was truly heroic.
Thank
hope-
you.
We can get more assistance next year. And but getting the youth involved.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one.
That's what the Eureka Chamber did with their last. They had a mixer, a family mixer, so that the chamber mixer didn't take time away from people's families. They had one at the Redwood Acres, and it was fairly well attended. And so this is maybe kind of a newer thing we're seeing, and I don't know how to integrate it. I had a client who opened a motorcycle repair shop in Eureka last week before last, and she had a bounce house because she's like, the riders of the future are the kids, it's like keep the kids involved. So she's thinking about her business in a different way, and she has a 3-year-old. So. But yeah, that's a great idea.
Well, and they're stronger than we are. They can lift more.
Smarter too, just ask them.
Yeah, oh, I know that. Yeah. And if you have computer issues, they can fix them.
Yeah.
That's what we're counting on. So seeing no more comments on the chamber report, moving on to item 11, future agenda items. We're going to follow up on the business outreach discussion. And is there anything else to kick around?
Something I'm doing is Humboldt Made is going to come out and visit us. There's
Ooh.
businesses in Blue Lake that are not part of Humboldt Made, and so I want to do an introduction, and I might have more to report next time, but I was going to see.
When is that? That's their quarterly mixer?
No, we were talking about just walking around introducing. Right now, we're the only Humboldt Made product technically in Blue Lake, so I want to take them and bring them around and introduce them to everyone. And they're doing a services Humboldt Made as well in a different form. So as soon as I get that date, I'll let everyone know.
Well, and we do have a distillery, which is Humboldt made.
Mhm.
Plus, the chocolate place.
Yeah, she said that there wasn't, but that doesn't mean anything. I just want to get them out here to walk around.
Yeah,
And now
then
that
you-
they're doing the Humboldt Made that are also services, to introduce them to Darcy and Kiko and see if we can get some
That would be good.
showcases for Blue Lake and get more working together. And
Yeah,
also
they're
they have a heartbeat on who's looking for new facilities and new areas
and they're
so-
promoting the buy local is really
Yeah.
getting a big push these days.
yeah. So as soon as I have that date, I'll probably have that on the next meeting. I'll let you guys know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You may want to agendize something. I've noticed they have publications like 101 things to do in Humboldt County. There's nothing in Blue Lake at all. So
Mhm.
I think it might be worth somebody getting these publications to put out. I think it's free. Maybe and get some of our things listed in there so we're on the map.
Yeah, I wonder how those get cobbled together.
I think you have to pay for
You have to
those.
pay
Oh,
for
it's
it, yeah.
advertorial
It's very,
content.
yeah, it's very
Mhm.
costly.
Really?
Yeah,
Just to list what's in the city. They have a map of the city.
right.
They put in their businesses. And so you're saying any business that's actually on that map has to pay to be on it?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah.
That's what I've always encountered.
You know about how much?
I think it depends on what you want, how much, how big of an ad and how many places. And
Do you want one this size?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But that is a paid. It's like having an advertisement in a magazine. Yeah. But it's a possibility.
No, they have to cover the printing costs.
Mhm.
And getting that
Staff. Yeah.
that stack of
Mhm.
those things somewhere, someone's got to drive them there or mail them.
But what we could do is submit our events, our bigger ones, to Visit California. And I can volunteer to do that because we already do it for the brewery and it's totally free. So when we have big city events, we can
Like the
write an
Enduro is a
article.
big event, the
Right, or
RCMP
even
events.
Annie Mary Day
And-
and the car show. We can totally do that. We can do that for the brewery already.
So we'll call that
Humboldt Made
Promotion?
reach out
promoting
or
Blue Lake
Yeah,
business,
yeah.
Blue Lake
Yeah.
business promotion.
Yeah, and I will get a hold of Humboldt Maine and try to set a date and report that back next time.
Thank you,
on the calendar.
Linda.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other, I think, well,
we had the business outreach and
that's plenty right there. If we can
Yeah.
dig into those and keep those moving, that'll be that'll be very productive. Thank you, everyone. Is there any more further comment on the future agenda items? And if not, that brings us to the end of their agenda. And
Do we want to add the survey on here or is that part of the business
it's
outreach?
under the business outreach and just see the questions that we might want to see and like see what the chamber's got. Like I said, reach out to SBC. Who else is doing this so we don't have the overlap? Is there data we can get from someone at the county if they have it, like County Economic Development Department?
Are you going to talk about secretary for the commission?
For the note taking, that yes, thank you, Lori. We were also going to discuss the commission, Cindy's last set of minutes.
I
And
hate to
who will take
complain.
so that should be at the top of our agenda for next time is who is going to take minutes for this agenda.
If Cindy's late, you just appoint her for 3 years or something.
Right, the last person to the meeting gets to take the minutes.
Well, then it's gonna always
Oh
be.
man.
It'll be like,
I probably make it bigger than it really should be.
yeah, I think it could be condensed.
Yeah, like there was a meeting.
We had a meeting. This is what we discussed. There were questions.
We came, we saw, we went.
These things take on a life of their own after a while. And we do have video now, and we didn't have video documentation
In the
at least in the
beginning.
beginning, in the before times.
I love the video because a lot of times I can focus on what's happening in the meeting and not worry about writing it down because I can just pay attention. I'm not good at.
What are you gonna do with all your spare time?
Well, gee, what am I gonna do?
Okay.
I'm gonna come and hang with you.
Okay.
There you go.
The chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a John?
Just one quick thing.
Yes, please.
Maybe in the future, not right now, but when you guys have a lot of projects going, maybe come forward and present what you guys have going on to the council. Like, so like when maybe the chair comes forward and presents what you guys have going on, just so you can keep everybody up to date. I
think
put that out
actually that's a good idea because I think our faces,
Yeah, it improves communication and keeps the ideas circulating in the.
and you'll be nice.
Of course.
Do we have to stay up until midnight or even 10? 10 is late for me.
We'll schedule you in.
Okay.
Time certain for 5 minutes after the meeting starts.
Thank you. Okay, so I think, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I
Anyone?
motion to adjourn.
All right, is there a second? We are adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.